Sarah from Great Days by Sarah, and today we have a yoga practice with an emphasis on our side body. We'll do a lot of side-to-side stretches or lateral movement, hitting some muscles and some stretches that you normally wouldn't do during the course of a normal week. There's a lot of benefits to this type of practice. With these side bends, there's cardiac benefits, respiratory benefits, giving your lungs a little more space to move, huge boost to your immunity, which this time of year we definitely could all use with our immune system, and it also aids in digestion. So if you're feeling not so on track with that, this is a great practice as well. I'll encourage you today to take those long, deep breaths, even when it's challenging, even when we're in a deep side bend and we're here, your lungs are a little restricted, but I'll encourage you to try to work through it. Still big inhale, still big exhale, whether you're using our Ujjayi breath, in through the nose, out through the nose, or if you need a little relief and the exhales can come from your mouth. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. For right now, find a comfortable seat. I'm choosing cross-legged in the center of my yoga mat today. Hands just come wherever they feel comfortable. I'm gonna rest them on my knees. Close your eyes if you feel like you're in a safe space. Roll your shoulders forward, up towards your ears, back and down. One more time, forward, up towards your ears, back and down. And find that tall posture sitting. We're only here for a short bit today on our mat to warm up, and then we'll be on our feet. But while we're here, pretend there's a string coming out of the top of your head, and it's pulling you a little bit taller. Chin is level with the ground, spine is long and strong, and we begin to breathe. If you're finding the Ujjayi breath today, in through your nose, out through your nose with a slight constriction in the back of your throat, sounding like the ocean. 2 more just to center us here. If your eyes are closed, gently blink them open. Hands come to heart center. If you'd like to set an intention, now is a great time to do so. If you don't have an intention or something you're working towards today, maybe it's just to be present through this practice today. Just focusing on the here and now, letting go of everything else just for these few moments. We'll increase our breath. Inhale, arms come up, over the top. Eyes can peer up towards your fingertips. Hands come down to heart center. This time, left hand comes out, right arm comes up. Inhale, we get tall. Exhale brings us over. Start slow. You don't need to be reaching towards the mat. Just come right back up and switch sides. Right hand comes down, left hand comes up. Inhale, we get tall with the spine. Exhale leads us over. We're going to move with the breath. Inhale, tall. Exhale, fold. Maybe this time you peek up underneath your armpit. When you're ready to inhale, come straight up and switch it over. Exhale, other side. 1 more each way. Inhale, up. Over and reach. Deepest one, maybe your elbow comes down. Keep your sits bones on the floor. Don't let your hips move. Up and over. Last time. And hands come down. This time, reach your left hand to your right knee and do a very mild spinal twist. Reach your right hand behind you and just look to the side to start. Let's focus on the length. We'll come back to this a lot through this practice today. Sit up tall and just a tiny twist, maybe a little further. Your inhales bring you long. Your exhale brings you a little bit further in the twist. Last one here. I invite you to peek over your back shoulder. And then just as slowly as you came in, come out. Good. We have right hand, left knee. Sit up tall first, just facing the side. Find the length. And then on your exhale, begin to twist just tiny. Last one, maybe you peer over your shoulder. And slowly unwind. Come onto your hands and knees and slowly come up to stand. Tuck your toes. Nice and slow in your space. Feet are going to be about hip distance apart. If you like a little bit more of a challenge, big toes can touch, heels a little bit apart. I'm going to go into what I like to call palm trees. Inhale up to the left to start, like you're holding a big beach ball. Inhale brings you center. Exhale brings you right. Inhale center. Exhale. Inhale center. Exhale. We're going to do one more each side. You can keep your hands up holding this beach ball, or if you want a little bit more of a stretch, as you tilt, drop that bottom arm and find a little bit deeper of a bend. Maybe you peek up underneath your armpit and then come right back up. Or keep the beach ball. Last side. Lean it over first. Drop that bottom arm if you'd like to. Twist it up. Feel a deep stretch through the side body. And then coming up, center. Get as tall as you can, shoulders away from your ears. And release your arms. We'll meet at the top of your mat in mountain pose. This time, toes together, heels a tiny bit apart. Start warming up the rest of our body with some sun salutations. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, fold, little knee bend, especially in this first one, maybe always. Inhale, halfway lift. Back is flat, shoulders are back. Exhale, fold. Inhale brings you all the way back up. Hands come, heart center. So 2 more like this. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Maybe you still keep a deep bend in your knees. Protect your hamstrings through this warm up. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse that swan dive. Hands come, heart center. Last one. Inhale up. Tall reach, arms are strong. Exhale, fold. Maybe this time your legs are a little bit straighter. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse that swan dive. Hands come, heart center. Step your right foot back. And we're gonna come all the way down onto the knee. So this modified crescent. Let's set up our legs first. Your front knee is gonna be directly over your ankle. So you're looking for this 90-degree angle. Your back leg, back foot is untucked, leaning into this hip flexor. So we'll find this, and then when you're ready, hands come up, both to start, and breathe. Drop your left hand and reach your right arm over the top. So you should be reaching towards the leg that's in front. We talked in the beginning about keeping your breath deep. This is where the challenge starts. Find the stretch, but still keep a deep breath. One more inhale. And exhale. Hands come back. Slide back, half split. Both hands come down. Straighten through your front leg. Pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. And just get into your hamstring a little bit more in this posture. Your head can fall towards your knee if it feels good. flex your foot towards the ceiling. And we'll come back into this lunge. Back both arms up. And one more time through that side stretch. Left hand reaches towards the floor. It may not reach. Right hand reaches up. This time maybe peek up. Lengthen the stretch a little bit more. And then all we're going to do is bring our hands down and switch legs. So come back through, table. Right leg comes forward. Find that modified lunge first. Check in with your knee, make sure it's over your ankle. Then hands come up. Arms are straight and strong. Drop your right arm this time towards the floor and lean towards the right. Maybe your fingertips touch. Maybe they're hanging out with like mine for this first one. If the balance is an issue, you can always rest your hand on your front leg. We come back up, both arms, send it back, short half split. Pull this right hip back, left hip comes forward. Think about meeting your sternum towards your knee. If your chest can meet your leg, fantastic. If not, you'll still feel the stretch through your hamstring, through the back of this front leg. That's our goal. On your next inhale, refine the lunge. Arms come up. Find the lean, this time maybe a little bit deeper. Now that those hips are a little bit warmer, and we can peek up to that left arm if you have the balance. And hands come down, back to table. Let's center our spine with some cat-cows. We inhale up, and exhale, round, tuck your chin, squeeze your thighs together towards each other. Inhale up, and exhale back. One more like this. Inhale up, and exhale back. And release it. Press back, downward facing dog. First downward dog of the day, upside down letter V with our body. Maybe we pedal at our feet. Shift your hips side to side. I love to shift my heels to one side, shift them to the other. That also gets into our side body stretch. And then just find stillness. We're just here for a couple breaths this time. Think send your tailbone to the sky. Press through all 10 fingers. Pressing your hips high and back. And your next inhale, move forward to plank. Hold here for 3, for 2, for 1. Drop your left knee down. We're going to find a modified side plank for this first one. And even if you have a practice where you do a full side plank, I'll encourage you to do the modification for the first one. Left foot sends behind. We reach up and we reach over in this modified side plank. We modify for the first one because our real focus is through our side body today. It's a little harder to balance for the full one. We will have an opportunity in a few minutes to move into the full one if you choose, but I want to show you the modification first. So making this rainbow shape between your heel and your hand. And then listen carefully, we're going to lift our hand up and find a gate pose. So we're going to come up onto that knee, balancing. This leg still stays down. We find the gate pose, which is just the opposite. And reach it over, stretching out our opposite side body. Your hand can come to your thigh if the floor is accessible to the floor. And our goal isn't necessarily to touch our foot, because I can touch my foot if I lose the side bend. Your goal is to open up through the side and all the way over. And perhaps you have the flexibility, you can touch your foot, keeping your chest open. But do what's best for you. Don't collapse out of it just to grab the foot. So good. So strong. Come back out slow. Arms come up, arms come around. Back to our table, and we're going the other side. I'm going to stay the way I'm facing so you can see the reverse of it also. This time my right leg plants down, I turn it out, and I find this modified side plank. I reach it up and over, and find this rainbow shape, still keeping my breath. Still big inhales through my nose. Exhale through my nose, that ujjayi breath, making that deep ocean sound. And then I'm going to come up and move it into gate pose. My hip flips. My hips are stacked over my knee now. I'm going to reach it up and over towards my foot. But this side's a little more challenging for me. I already felt like I was reaching down. I want to open my chest, open my side body, and hand doesn't touch the floor, that's okay. Keep it on your thigh. We reverse it all the way up, all the way over, back to our table, one cat-cow. Inhale brings you up. Exhale, squeeze those thighs together, tuck your chin. We come back to neutral, and when you're ready, send it back to downward facing dog. Feet can be hip distance. I like to turn my hands out a little bit, gives my shoulders a little bit more space. Tailbone towards the sky. Our inhale, we'll bend our knees, come up on our toes, and we'll this time gently walk little tiptoes towards the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale brings you all the way up. Hands come to heart center. We're going to go through 2 sun salutation A's today. Option to chaturanga. Inhale brings you up. Exhale, big fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank. I'll modify the first one so you see. Knees come down, but there's a straight line from my knees to my shoulders. I bend my elbows. I can either come into cobra, show you cobra here, so hips are on the floor, or coming into upward facing dog. Tops of feet are on the floor, eye and gaze is coming up, shoulders away from my ears. Then we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. I'll show you one more. You can stay in down dog or watch the chaturanga flow. It would be an inhale forward, exhale drop, just elbows to 90 degrees. Exhale, flip the toes, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can always just meet us in downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze comes forward. Exhale, hop, step, or jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale brings us all the way back up to stand. One more time, with the chaturanga or without. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, maybe you can hop back to that chaturanga. We all meet back in downward facing dog. 3 breaths. And once again, we travel to the top of our mat. Maybe you step, maybe you hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale brings you all the way up. Listen for the change. Exhale, chair. Hips sink down. Sink down. Back is long. Hands start on your hips here. Knees pressed together, thighs pressed together for most of us. Sink a little bit lower, and now tuck your tail so those lower abdominals engage. Arms come up. We're only holding this one time, so get as deep into it as you can. For 3, for 2, and 1, full, release it. So strong. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take it through your flow, or straight back to downward facing dog. Doing a modified sun salutation B today. Lift your right leg up. With the exhale, step it through, but don't turn your back foot down like we usually do for warrior 1. We're coming up to a high crescent. So feet on a railroad track. Maybe you need to wiggle your right foot a little bit more to the side. Tuck your tailbone under. Maybe that involves bending your back leg just for a moment. Maybe it stays bent. Or you can press through the heel and straighten it. Then when you're ready, arms come up. We're going to add that same lean as we did on the floor. If you need to modify, drop your back knee. Right arm drops, left arm reaches. Side body stretch to the right. Keep this deep knee bend. Excellent. Come right back up. Crescent. Hands come down. Take it through your flow. High to low. Upward to downward. Inhale brings your left leg high. Your exhale steps through. Keep in mind, think railroad tracks, not balance beam. When your feet are set, come on up. Deep knee bend through your front. Tuck your tail. Maybe that involves you have to bend your back leg. That always makes it a little bit easier for me. I like that one. Press your heel back and extend your arms high crescent. Drop your left arm. Right arm reaches over. Once again, if you need to modify, just drop the knee like we did the first time through this. Takes a little bit of the balance challenge out. Are you breathing? Can you feel your side body extending? Bring it back up to crescent, and then hands come down. Frame your foot, step it back. Low to upward, and back to downward facing dog. Just one inhale. Our exhale brings us to the top. Inhale brings you halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale right to that chair. Just an inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice flat back every single time. Exhale, step back through your flow. This time, lift your left leg high and step it through. This time, rotate your heel down and come on up for warrior 2. So my back heel is planted. My back foot is at a 45-degree angle. My front foot is pointing forward. So those are the feet. Then we lean into it with the legs. Deep bend through your front leg. Nice straight back leg. Then we look at our hips. Shoulders should be right over your hips. Long, strong obliques here. And then when we're ready, arms come out. Gaze goes over that middle finger in the front. Shoulders aren't here, they're relaxed. We're not here long. We're only here once. Drop your left hand to your left thigh, keeping the deep bend. Right arm reaches up and over, extended side angle. Try to make this line as long and as straight as you can from that back heel to this top hand. Now I've noticed my shoulder, I'm kind of sinking into my arm. Press out of that shoulder. So the left shoulder is away from your ear. Then if you'd like a challenge just for 2 breaths, reach this bottom hand out. 1, 2. Bring it right up. Straighten everything. Prasarita. Toes face forward. Maybe even turn in a little bit. Hands come on your hips. Big breath in, tuck your tailbone. Exhale brings you down for a forward fold. Hands can fall to the floor. They can reach out to your ankles. I like to reach mine behind me for a little bit of a deeper stretch. Hands walk out back forward, press them to your hips, engage your core, and stand up nice and slow. We're going right over to the other side. So opposite knee bends. Find your warrior 2. You might need to adjust your feet a little bit. Back heel is planted, back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Bend deeply through your front knee, straighten through your back knee, then move your shoulders. Chances are they need to shift over your hips. Arms come straight and strong. Don't have lazy arms here. Make your triceps work. Gaze over that front finger. Only here once. Front arm comes down to your thigh. Back arm reaches up and over, extended side angle on the opposite side. Can you make this line as long and strong as the other one? From your heel to your hip, from your hip to your fingertips. Don't lose that deep knee bend through the front. Reverse it, come on up, straighten everything. This time we're gonna turn our feet in like we're going to Prasarita. We're gonna turn our heels in too. We're gonna come into a goddess squat. Our goddess squat will be here. Very similar to a sumo squat. Knees are wide. Left hand plants on your leg. Right hand reaches up and over. We're not holding it, we're flowing with it. Keep the squat. Just your upper body moves. How low can you get in the squat? Challenge your legs. Keep your breath. Move as slow as you need to move. One more. Stand it up strong. Reach high, star pose. Reach low, goddess. Reach high, star pose. You're gonna stay right this way without a flow in between, moving into a triangle. Turn one foot out, one foot in. My stance needs to be a little bit more narrow than it is in a warrior 2. Shift your hips back, reach this front hand. Try not to lean it on your leg. I like to keep the back of my hand on my shin, keep my obliques honest, and reach it straight up. Now try to have a straight line from this bottom arm to this top arm without collapsing. A lot of times you'll see people in triangle like this. Doesn't really do anything for our side body. Yes, you can touch the floor, congratulations, but it's definitely more work and more of a challenge to hold it using your core, using this core that wraps around your whole body in this triangle. Send your hips back a little bit more. Reach your fingers a little bit higher. And then come out of it, legs stay the same, let's just reverse it. Coming up and over. Probably not as far as you could reach in an extended side angle. And we're gonna flip it. Turn to the other side. Foot turns out, foot turns in. Adjust your stance if you need to. Arms come up, warrior two arms. Shift your hips back and find this tilt, tilt, tilt. And then I'll challenge you today to leave the back of your hand against your shin. So it's not even leaning on your shin, just resting against it. Arm comes up. I like the challenge one yoga teacher told me once to make it an elephant trunk, because then you really know it's not doing anything if it's moving. I like to press it against my shin to turn my shoulders. My gaze goes up. Breathe. And let's reverse it. Like stay the same, just shift your hips, use your core. Goes all the way back to reverse triangle. And release it. We skipped that beach ball and that side angle the other side. So come back to side angle. Come in here, hold it, or use your beach ball. We're going right back to it. We'll hit all these muscles again. Reach it up just for 2 breaths. 1 and 2. Stand it up nice and strong. Prasarita. This time we can do a version C. Hands are going to interlace behind your back if you choose, or you can do the one we did the first time. Shoulder stretch. Press your palms towards each other and then find the bend. Maybe your knees bend slightly here. Pressing those palms together. Finding a deep shoulder stretch. Then release your hands if you have them. Hands come to your hips. Inhale brings you all the way up. Turn and face the front of your mat and take it through your flow. Reset the spine. Reconnect with your breath. Send your hips back. And then drop your knees down wide on your mat and send your hips back to child's pose. Breathe. In this child's pose, begin to walk your fingers over to the right. So I'm just going to inch my hands over to the right. Now check in with your left glute. Is it still touching your heel? Is it still close to your heel, or did it lift up? Send your hips back. Here's where it becomes very challenging to take a deep breath. Those lungs are compressed. Walk it back to center, and then go right to the other side. Checking this time with your right glute, your right heel, then back to center. Slowly come up to table. And then however you'd like to, we'll meet on our backs for a bridge pose. Start by hugging your knees into your chest. Maybe rocking side to side if that feels good. And then when you're ready, plant your heels and then reach down with your fingertips. See if they can graze your heels. That's about the distance your heels need to be from your hips, that you can still touch them. Then for this first one, we're going to take our arms, I like to call these robot arms. Press your elbows down. So triceps are on the back of the mat. Use your elbows to curl your hips slowly off the floor. So if you're used to interlacing your hands underneath, you can try that, but I'll encourage you to try this robot one. This really activates your triceps. Legs are parallel, pressing up through your heels. As your chest lifts, your chin kind of runs away from it a little bit, and it lifts more. Lift your chin up. So in other words, your chin should not be resting against your chest. Can you press into your arms more? It's very easy for them to take a break right here. 3, press a little higher, 2, and 1. Come down as slow as you came in, 1 vertebrae at a time. Hug your knees into your chest and rock side to side. And then the next time those knees go towards the right, encourage them to drop to the floor. Only if you can keep your left shoulder on the mat. Look over to your left. Wringing out any last toxins that are in your body. Knees come back up to center and over to the left. Look out to the right. Knees come back up to center one last time. Give everything a squeeze. Maybe your forehead goes toward your knees. Big inhale. Exhale, let everything go. Take up as much space as you can on your mat. Rest your hands when they feel comfortable. Welcome to Shavasana. You've arrived. Today in Shavasana, we're going to do something slightly different. We're going to do a body scan, starting from the tip top of your head, working your way all the way down towards your feet. Picture almost like a photocopier as it scans over your body. That's the part of the body that you're going to focus on. So starting at the top of your head, moving down, release and relax your face, your forehead, your cheeks. Find relaxation through your eyes, your jaw. Maybe if your teeth are together, take them apart and remove your tongue from the top of your mouth. Moving down to your throat, you can release your Ujjayi breathing. Melt your shoulders into the mat. Your biceps and triceps, those tops of your arms. No work left to do. Relax your forearms and your hands. Maybe your fingers are stretched out. Maybe just let them curl in a little. Coming back to that core. Not holding anything in any longer, not holding anything tight. Relax through your hips and your thighs, your knees and your calves. Relax through your ankles, your toes, maybe your feet splay out to the side, and let everything go. Let's slowly begin to wake everything up. Wiggle through your fingers. go through your toes, circle your wrists and your ankles. And then very slowly, very gently, roll onto your right side. If it serves you, keep your eyes closed. Rest here for just a moment. And we'll press back up to a comfortable seat, exactly where we started this practice today. Do one last inhale together. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Thumbs can press against the breastbone, against your sternum. Come back to your intention. Thumbs then travel to your third eye, the space between your eyebrows, this side of intuition. And we all bow and say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in that practice today. I hope your side body feels a lot more open than it was before. Your immunity has gotten a kick. Your digestion has stepped it up a little bit. Go have a great week.